Hello everyone, Meru here, and welcome to another Monday vlog, which I was supposed to film this earlier because I have work. I have to leave for work in like 30 minutes. Not even 30, like 20 minutes I have to leave for work. So I need to have this shit uploaded by then, and my phone takes for fucking ever. So we'll see if this shit gets uploaded today or if not tomorrow. We'll see. Anyways, nothing much to say. I've been working nights at work. That's why I'm here. Hello. I'm here right now. I've been working nights, so I'm gonna get home at 9 p.m. So I don't know if I even have time to upload this video today, but if not, then I'll upload it tomorrow, because a lot's been going on. I got my computer monitor. I got my monitor. I bought the tower, and I bought I think the hard drive. I forgot what it is, but I bought something, and then I'm just waiting to get paid this week so that I can buy the some other stuff that I need, and then I'm trying to see so that I can buy the graphics card. But yeah, I gotta be leaving for work soon. I just finished watching I was catching up with some anime that I needed to catch up with. I think it was just it was just the time I got reincarnated as a slime. That was I needed to catch up with that. It's so good though. Like, who would have thought a show called I Got Reincarnated as a Slime would be this good? It's really fucking good. Like, I'm excited for the next episode. Like, super excited. I also watched, I didn't know if Crunchyroll had the movie Forgiven, because I really love the anime. It's very gay. It's not yaoi, it's BL, it's boys love, it's romantic, there's no sex scenes. Kinda. Like, the first season, amazing, one of a kind, 10 out of 10, no, there's nothing wrong with it. It's amazing from beginning to end. Then the movie, I didn't know Crunchyroll had the movie. Like, I checked and I'm like, oh my god, they have the movie! I just finished watching it, and oh my god, I'm in the verge of tears. It was so good. There was kind of a sex scene in there. It wasn't explicit though. It was just kind of like, you didn't really see anything. There wasn't any like moaning or anything. But it was emotional. That's the best way to put it. It was emotional. You're just like, no! Buddy, that's not how that works. It's so good. It was so good. Because all of the main characters are gay. All of the main characters are gay. They have a band called Given, and they are all gay. The 4 of them, all gay. It's so good. It's so good. I highly recommend you watching it. It's such a good anime. It's such a good anime. I've also been, I caught up with Attack on Titan, Dr. Stone, Ruby, and, Yashahime, which I'm a fan of Inuyasha. Inuyasha was one of my first ever, like, anime that I watched, especially, it was the first long-running anime that I fully watched, that I got watched from the beginning to end, and I love Inuyasha. I watched that shit 10 years ago, like, more than 10 years, 11 years ago, and I loved it. One of my favorite anime, by far. And, when Yashahime was gonna come out, I was super excited. I'm like, oh, I always wanted to know what Inuyasha and Kagome's child would look like. Oh, that would be so cute. Also, Shomaru fucked? Who did the Shomaru fuck? I hope it's not Rin. Spoiler alert, it was Rin. And like, there's a lot going on with that. But the thing is that the Inuyasha fandom is toxic as fuck. Like, oh my god. They're such hypocrites, and it's so infuriating, because they're like, oh, Rin and Sesshomaru's pedophilia, but Inuyasha and Kagome is not. Which, by their logic, makes absolutely no sense, because they're like, oh, because Inuyasha is physically 15, and Kagome is 14, so it's okay. But, like, by the end of the show, Rin was, like, 14, and Sesshomaru is physically, just like, Inuyasha's physically 15, Sesshomaru's physically 19. He's 3,000. He's like what, 300 years old, but he's physically 19. Just like Inuyasha is 150, but he's physically 15. You know? And like people are like, oh, Rin was a child when she gave birth. No, she was like 17. If you actually pay attention to the fucking timeline, it tells you she was 17 when she gave birth, which, by historical fact, is around the time that most women would have given birth. Most women around the feudal era would have had children around the ages of 16, 17, because that was like their prime of health, because usually they died by age 30. So you couldn't really wait till you were 25 to have children. You know what I mean? Like, you had to do it. You couldn't be too young, because you could, there was like the chance of you die, because childbirth was very, very, dangerous. It still is, but back then even more, it was super dangerous. So you couldn't really have like a 14-year-old having children, because there's a potential that she would die. Like, so that's why like they would wait until they were like 17, like 16, 17, 18. Bájate de ahí, Luna. Until they were 16, 17, 18, even 19, so that they would actually have a better chance of survival. And that's basically their midlife, because they would die around the 30, 40s. That was the average lifespan in that era, especially for women, was 30 to 40 years old. Not like, you could obviously get older. Look at Kaede. Like, you could get older, but the average age that you would die was in the 30s and 40s. So it's not out of the ordinary that a girl would have kids at the age of 17, which is the age that she had children on. She didn't give birth as a child, okay? She was 17, which, like, okay, she's still technically a child, but it's not as bad. And Sesshomaru is physically, because if you want to consider the Kagome and Inuyasha shit not pedophilia as well, because he's 150, because you're like, oh, but he's 15 physically, so it's not pedophilia. Okay, so Sesshomaru's 19 physically, which means that he had a child with a 17-year-old. It's not that weird, okay? It's not that weird. And before you say shit, no, I'm not a Sesshorin shipper. I'm not. Okay, I ship Sesshomaru with me, and I ship Rin with Kohaku, okay? Rin and Kohaku was my OTP. I wanted those two kids to be together so badly since they met. Since they started being together with Sesshomaru, I'm like, oh my god, the two of them, they're gonna have kids. It's gonna be so great. They're so cute together. They're around the same age, maybe like 1-2 years of difference. But it's fine. They're kids, you know? And then it's like, no, it's Sesshomaru and Rin. I'm like, you know what? It's not. It's alright. Like, I'm like, that's pedophilia. But then I did my research and I'm like, it's not that bad, actually. Like, I wanted to bear Sesshomaru's children when I was 14, so I'm not gonna judge Rin and wanting the same thing, okay? It's like the hypocrisy. They're like, that people like, they were like, oh yeah, but Lord Sesshomaru, when they were like 12, they're like, oh yeah, I want Lord Sesshomaru's babies. But when Rin has Lord Sesshomaru's babies, now you all have a problem with it. It's the hypocrisy for me. It's the hypocrisy for me. Like, pick a struggle, bitch. Pick a struggle. I caught up with it. I was like, oh, I wanna, cause I like it. It's not the best show. It's not the best sequel we could have gotten, but it's not the worst either. Like, it's like, the characters are great. Towa, amazing. I love her. Motoha, she's the best combination of, she's what I wanted out of a Inukage love child. She's perfect. She's just as fiery as her dad, but she's also just as smart as her mom. It's the best combination. She's a precious bean, and I love her. Towa and Setsuna are so fucking adorable. Like, I love their sisterly love. I love how Setsuna's like, don't fucking touch me with that feely shit. I don't want emotions. Stop hugging me. Don't touch me. And Towa's like, nah, I'm your big sister. I will give you all the emotions because I can and I will, and you're going to accept them. And I'm just like, oh, they're so cute. Like, I love it. It's a good show. It's not the worst. Like, it's a fun show to watch. And I just don't get why people are like, why people watch things they don't enjoy. Like, if you're, because on Tumblr it's just hate. In the Inuyasha tag and in the Yashahime tag, it's just fucking hatred towards Yashahime, because it's not it's like, it's not canon, or oh, it's bending a bunch of shit from, like, okay, so what? It's like, so it's a different show. Like, you can just be like, Inuyasha ended, whatever. This is like a sequel that came like, what, 20 years later? Of course it's not gonna be correct. And I wasn't expecting it to be 100% legit. And like, the creator of Inuyasha actually made part of this story. It's not that Sunrise just came up with it. Like, no, the actual creator, she pitched this story to them. And then we're like, yeah, we'll run with that. So like, it's like own creator shit that you guys are all like, oh no. Like, if you don't like it, just don't watch it. Why are you still watching Yashahime if you hate it? Stop. Like, let other people who actually enjoy the show fucking enjoy it. You don't see me bashing The Promised Neverland season 2. Like, I haven't even watched it because I heard, like, I was waiting to watch it, because I, like, sometimes I wait like a month before I watch I catch up with anime, because then I have more to watch, because I hate waiting. But I heard that they skipped, that season 2 of The Promised Neverland skipped some of my, like, the main fucking stories that gave the main characters character development, and just went straight to the ending. But like episode 3, and I'm like, no, that's not, no, like, The Promised Neverland made The Promised Neverland because of all the shit that these kids went through. You can't just skip the 2-year, you can't just do the 2-year time skip with, like, if the manga would just be like, yeah, whatever, it was just filler, like, whatever, but no. That 2-year time skip, the actual stuff that happened in those 2 years, was immensely important for the character development of everyone. And it was such an incredible, like, it was such an incredible arc when that was happening in the manga. So I was so pissed off that they didn't do it in the anime. I just didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. And you don't see me going online like, oh my god, The Promised Neverland is such a shitty. Like, no, like, there are people that still like the anime. That they're still like, yeah, whatever, it happened. What are we gonna do? I still enjoy it, and that's fine, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not gonna watch it because I know that I'm going to bash the shit out of it if I do. Because I read the manga. Before the first season was even announced. Like, I was reading, like, I caught up with the show, and then it was like, oh, there's an anime coming, and I'm like, yes. Oh, I was like 50-50, like, oh. This is a very intricate anime where you need to take every detail into consideration, because every small detail is important to the overall story, because, like, it goes back to different points of the story to be like, oh yeah, no, this was important. Like, when they solve something, it goes back and they explain it, you're like, oh, that's what that meant. So every very specific things are important in the show. Look at the little baby. So I was like 50-50, but then I watched the anime and I was like, oh wow, they did an amazing job with it. I can't wait for season 2. And then when season 2 was announced, I was like, yes, oh, this is gonna be amazing. I can't wait to see all these characters. And they skipped every one of those characters in the season 2. So I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch it. No. Manga only. The anime never happened. Like, you can do that as long as you're respectful to people who actually enjoy it. You can't just be like, oh, you enjoy Yashahime? Are you a pedophile? Like, no, it's a fucking show. Chill out. Fuck. Just because, like, I would fuck Sesshomaru doesn't mean I would actually fuck a demon, you know? Like, just because, let's see, what other, like, Beastars. I fucking love Beastars. I can't wait for the new season. Am I a furry? No. I didn't find any of those characters attractive. Well, maybe the deer. But only in terms of personality. I would not fuck that. No, thank you. I am not a furry. I respect furries. I respect all of you. You're all an amazing fucking community. Like, praise to you. How you keep that peace. But I am not a furry. I am not. I watched the entirety of Beastars and I wasn't horny once. I saw the rabbit naked and I was like, yeah. No, I don't feel it. I don't. They're animals. They're anthropomorphic animals. I don't feel that. I don't. Like, if you watch Beastars and you don't feel horny at least once, then you're not a furry. Like, if you feel horny while watching the show, then yeah. Sorry to tell you, you're a furry. Like, good luck. They're the great community. But if you watch the show and you didn't feel horny, then you're not a furry. Like, I watched the entirety of Beastars. It's an amazing fucking show. Like, I love it. But I'm not a furry. Like, just because I enjoy something doesn't mean I accept it. Like, just because I enjoyed Beastars doesn't mean I'm a furry. Or that I would fuck an animal. I would not. But I enjoy the show. Just because I like Tanya the Evil doesn't mean I condone what she does. She's crazy, okay? Just because I watched Death Note doesn't mean I condone what he does. Kita's fucking crazy. He's off his rocker. He's not even my favorite villain. Like, Lelouch is my favorite. Well, he's not really a villain. He's more like an anti-hero, but Lelouch is great. Like, he could beat Light in a fight any day. Just saying, he could. I'm gonna go now because I have to go to work soon. So, bye bye. See y'all next time. Meru out.